this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. It's been quite some time since I last posted some content here to the channel, but I'm back here with you all today with a new Scream 7 video discussing and sharing my thoughts on all of the latest rumors, as well as sharing a theory that I have for why Ghostface, or one of them if we get the cult as is expected, could be targeting Sidney Prescott this time around. If you haven't done so already, please shoot this video a like. It definitely helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton, as well as if you happen to be a new viewer here to the channel, please shoot that subscribe button followed by the notification bell for all content updates here to the channel. So over the last few weeks, we have gotten a ton of rumors regarding the cast, storyline, and timing of events for Scream 7. So I'll start off with the rumored cast and work my way into the other rumors surrounding the film and cap off everything with my theory for why Sidney Prescott is going to be targeted by Ghostface once again. According to rumors that surfaced a couple weeks ago, Kerry Russell, Leslie Grossman, Milo Manheim, Kaylee Hyman, Gail Harold, and Zion Moreno are all linked to be the new cast members for Scream 7. Now, in terms of Gail Harold and Zion Moreno, I'm not too familiar with either of their work, so I can't really speak much on them in terms of what type of character they could be playing. I will say, given Harold's real life age, he's 54, he could possibly be a friend of Mark and Sidney, maybe Mark's partner if he is still a cop, or it could be one of the younger newbies' father. Kerry Russell I spoke about in previous videos. I felt the rumor about her being in this film would turn out to be accurate based on the rumors that they are looking to cast a former 90s star who appeared in an episode of Kevin Williamson's Dawson's Creek. So out of all of these rumored cast members, I feel the rumor of Kerry being in the film is definitely happening. Leslie Grossman I am familiar with from American Horror Story 1984 as Margaret Booth. That was the only season I have ever watched from the long-running popular series because it was slasher themed. It is also worth noting that she starred alongside Scream 4 alumni Emma Roberts for that season. Now, if Grossman's casting turns out to be true, I find her to be very interesting for a couple reasons. It seems now that Judy Greer is no longer linked to Scream 7 as the potential Halloween trilogy star that was initially rumored to be casted. She was rumored to be possibly playing a Karen type of character, and even I thought that she could possibly play Leslie Macher, the sister of Stu Macher, if Leslie's character is still a part of the plans for Scream 7. However, it now appears that Judy Greer is out, but with the addition of Grossman, I think it is very possible that she could fill in as that Karen type of character that is rumored to have a beef or some type of dislike for Sidney Prescott, who would also turn out to be Leslie Macher, not only because of the fact that her real name is actually Leslie, and it would be the traditional meta angle that is a staple of the Scream franchise, but she was also a mastermind type of killer in American Horror Story. When you add in the rumor and the thought that Scream 7 will have more than 3 killers, seemingly going in the direction of the Ghostface cult, Grossman possibly portraying Leslie Macher is not out of the question if the plan is to introduce the character in physical form, as opposed to just a mention like we got in Scream 5. As for Milo Manheim, I am most familiar with him from his role as Ryan in Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, where he starred alongside Patrick Dempsey, who is rumored to be returning as Sidney Prescott's husband, Mark Kincaid, in Scream 7. I think he could be a really good type of red herring character like he was in Thanksgiving, even if I think he's really an unrevealed killer in that film, but that's a discussion for another video. Kaylee Hyman I am familiar with most for her role in Terrifier 2 as Brooke. I personally think that Kaylee would be a great casting choice for Scream 7 because of the type of role that she played in Terrifier 2, the fun, carefree, outspoken type of friend. Now that doesn't mean that she would be playing that type of role for this film, but if there is a plan for that type of character in Scream 7, I think Kaylee would be a great choice because of her work in Terrifier 2. I do believe that Milo, Kaylee, and Zion are the rumored 20-something-year-old newbies that half the story will be centered on based on the fact that they are all in their 20s in real life. Okay, so moving on to the rumors that the film's timeline of events will feature a big time jump that will focus on Sidney's kids, and that this will lead into an all-new trilogy. Allegedly, 7 will pick up 5 years after the events of Scream 6. Half of the film will be set in a new town, so whether the film will be set in Seattle or not remains to be seen. The film will also focus on Sidney's eldest daughter, who will be 16 years of age, 1 year younger than Sidney was when the events from the first Scream film take place. So the first thing that jumped out to me wasn't just the 5-year time jump itself that is rumored, but the fact that half the film is set in a new town, but the other half, at least from how I'm reading it, will be set in a familiar place, which leads me to believe we could be going back to Woodsboro or Hollywood in Scream 7, as those two locations are, in my opinion, the two most memorable locations for Sidney's character because of the history and the killer reveals from those locations. If this is true, this is interesting to me because after Scream 5 came out, on Sidney's bio on the Scream Wikipedia page, it stated that she had 2 daughters with a possible 3rd kid. Now, I will say not everything that gets posted on there is accurate. Most of it is accurate, but some of the fans do put their own spin on things, for whatever reason. I have no idea. But I will say this, I do wonder now if maybe this person, whoever posted that on Sidney's bio on that Scream Wiki page, maybe saw a scrap script somewhere for a previously planned story for a Scream film that stated that Sid had 3 kids, and that this is being revisited for Scream 7. Because in Scream 5, we were led to believe that Sidney and Mark only had 2 daughters, as we'd seen Sidney pushing them in the stroller as Dewey was calling her. And those kids, even after 5 years, will be nowhere near 16 years of age, as if one of them were, at the time Scream 5 happens, that kid would have been at least 10 years old, and I don't know any kid being pushed in the stroller at that age. But if this rumor does hold it to be true that Sidney's eldest is 16 years of age, I think she could potentially be the main focus going forward after Scream 7, but more importantly, this dynamic of Sidney having a daughter around this age adds a level of intrigue, not just in regards to the rumor of Scream 8 already being in the works, which could symbolize that Sidney's oldest daughter could be the main focal point in future films, but also in regards as to why Ghostface is after Sidney yet again, and Sidney's character as a whole, which leads me to my theory for Sidney's character in Scream 7. Another rumor that has surfaced over the last few weeks is that Sidney Prescott is not liked in this new town that her and her family are residing in. This got my gears grinding as to why this could be if this is true. Sidney is a victim and a survivor of multiple horrific events. You would think that most people would show empathy for her. Could there be concern her past will follow her? Sure, but I just feel that is not enough to genuinely dislike someone. So, what could be the reason that Sidney is disliked in this new town? Let's take a trip down memory lane real quick.
Poison. You're just like me. You're just like
Okay, so in Scream 3, Sidney has a dream of her dead mother, Maureen, where Maureen says to Sidney that Sidney's poisoned and that she is just like her. Scream 7 is expected to mirror 3 in some ways, so what if what Maureen said in that dream turned out to be true and Sidney turned out just like her? What I mean by that is, what if Sidney is having or had an affair with someone or multiple people in this new town, and much like Woodsboro knew about Maureen's indiscretions, these people know about Sidney's secret or secrets, which would easily explain why no one in this town likes her, and it would also easily explain why someone in this town would want her dead. Now, what could make Sidney having a 16-year-old daughter so dynamic is, let's say this daughter has a boyfriend. Could Sidney be having an affair with the father of her daughter's boyfriend, just like her mother Maureen was having an affair with Hank Loomis, her boyfriend Billy's father? Seeing this play out would make that nightmare scene from Scream 3 that Sidney had of her mother all the more chilling and iconic in my opinion, because it would basically be Sidney succumbing to her worst fears.
Yeah, I think I'm really scared that I'm gonna turn out just like her,
I think this is very possible, and why I feel strongly about this theory is because when you go back and watch Scream 2, they showed us Sidney mirroring her mother's path with her going to college and majoring in performance arts. She was studying to be an actress. This was done even before we got the revelation in Scream 3 that Maureen herself was an actress. So in my opinion, Wes and Kevin had already laid the breadcrumbs, hinting that Sidney's life path / choices would mirror Maureen's. Now, I know some may not like the theory nor want to see that happen, but I personally believe you have to do something new with the Sidney Prescott character. You have to do something with the character that no one would expect out of the character to avoid staleness. In my opinion, she can't always continue to be
lovable and fucked up Sidney Prescott, everybody's favorite little victim.
Otherwise, you run into the issue that nothing's changed about the character. In my opinion, having Sidney be the reason that Ghostface is after her and her family because of a wrongdoing on her end would be different and intriguing, as opposed to the norm of her being haunted and hunted because of her mother's past. That's why Scream 4's motive from jail was special, because in so many ways, Sidney's fame off of her tragedy created a fame-seeking monster in jail inadvertently. It would be fresh to see Ghostface coming after Sidney because of a mistake that she purposely made this time around. I also know some may not like this theory because it would seem that it's not only copying the original motive of revenge for breaking a family up and the whole it's always a family member trope, but what if the motive wouldn't just be about revenge for Sidney's affair? What if the motive is more about exposing Sidney as the not so innocent victim that she's portrayed to be? I feel like if written and played out correctly, this could work. Another reason why this doesn't seem that far-fetched of a theory is because if her husband Mark Kincaid is still a homicide detective, or possibly even elevated to the FBI. I know that theory has been floated around there over the last couple of years, ever since Scream 5 and 6 came out. We all know that that job leaves little time for family time. So Sidney could definitely be feeling vulnerable because of that fact. Mark could very well be the new Neil Prescott in this situation. I think what a lot of fans fail to mention with Maureen Prescott's character is that it wasn't only her past that fueled her infidelities against her husband Neil, it was also the implication that Neil was hardly home and away on business, which gave Maureen the opportunity to do what she did without him being fully aware what was going on. Even if the rumor of Maureen cheating was brought to his attention, he could have simply turned a blind eye to it because he simply was in denial, which is common in these type of situations. And this is something we could be seeing happening with Mark Kincaid in Scream 7. If in fact this is the direction that they would be going with for Sidney Prescott's character. According to a rumor from Daniel RPK, Scream 7 is set to make an irreversible move in this next film. That not only sounds like something big that could change the franchise moving forward, but if the rumor is true, it sounds like it has the potential to be a very controversial move as well, whatever it may be. Making tweaks to Sidney's character that may somewhat be unfavorable to fans would definitely fit in that category. Now, circling back to the time jump rumor, some fans have been voicing their displeasure over the rumor due to the obvious fact that the Core 4 storyline went incompleted. And even though this time jump supposedly takes place 5 years after the events of Scream 6, the timeline of events for the franchise remains the same, and neither of the Core 4 members died. So it does leave an obvious plot hole as to what are those characters doing now, where are they at, so on and so forth, no matter how much they try to ignore what should have or could have been for those characters going forward. Fans, especially ones of the newer films, and those characters would want that storyline encapsulated, so I do feel this will be an issue to a small degree for the franchise moving forward. I have always felt if they were going to do a time jump, it should be a direct sequel set 30 years after the original film, or a time jump picking up from the events of Scream 4 and completely ignoring films 5 and 6 as the best option to move on from the Core 4 storyline in a reasonable way. I do feel with the idea of Sidney having a kid in their teens, those scenarios fit better and would have made more sense than setting it 5 years after Scream 6's events. But again, everyone, all of this stuff that's been spoken about are just rumors. Nothing has been made official yet, but with fall only a few short months away before filming begins, I'm sure some official news is on the horizon that will light up the summer, getting us prepared for what's to come. We should get some news here soon on official casting, as well as see if any of these rumors actually turn out to be true. But okay, everyone, that is it for this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below with your thoughts on all of these rumors. Are y'all okay with a time jump picking up after the events of Scream 6? Do you think Sidney's eldest daughter will emerge as the main focal point beyond Scream 7 if the rumors are true? As well as let me know what you guys think about my theory of Sidney Prescott marrying her mother Maureen, and that being the reason why Ghostface is after her yet again in Scream 7. Once again, this is Asham 6 Times YouTube Horror Movie Channel. Be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Thank you all for watching.